NFL Week 6 Injury Roundup. Key updates on star players. Week 6 of the NFL season brought its fair share of injuries, impacting several key players. Here's a comprehensive overview of the injuries that occurred during the Sunday slate. Arizona Cardinals. Marvin Harrison Jr., WR, suffered a hard hit and was evaluated for a concussion. He has been ruled out for the remainder of the game. Kaiser White, LB, injured his knee and was questionable to return but ultimately did not come back. Bilal Nichols, DT, ruled out due to a stinger. Atlanta Falcons. Justin Simmons, DB, injured his hamstring in the second half against Carolina and is questionable to return. Cleveland Browns. Nick Harris, C, carted off the field after getting injured on the first series. He has been ruled out. Jerome Ford, RB, left the game in the first quarter with a hamstring injury and has been ruled out. Denver Broncos. Patrick Surtain II, CB, suffered a concussion in the first half against the Chargers and has been ruled out. Detroit Lions. Aiden Hutchinson, the league's sack leader, suffered a serious leg injury in the third quarter against the Cowboys. His leg was placed in an air cast, and he was carted off the field, a significant loss for the Lions. Carlton Davis, CB, evaluated for a concussion after taking a cleat to the head from a teammate. Green Bay Packers. Dontavion Wicks, WR, did not return after being listed as questionable with a shoulder injury. Jacksonville Jaguars. Travis Etienne, RB, listed as questionable but did not return due to a hamstring injury. Darnell Savage, S, left to be evaluated for a concussion and did not return. Los Angeles Chargers. Hayden Hurst, Tay, suffered a groin injury in the first half against Denver and is questionable to return. Dean Leonard, CB, questionable to return with a hamstring injury. Trey Pipkins, OT, questionable to return due to a shoulder injury. New England Patriots. Vidarian Lowe, OT, questionable to return with an ankle injury. New Orleans Saints. Chris Olave, WR, ruled out after taking a hard hit to the head in the first quarter against the Buccaneers, losing a fumble on the play. Tyrann Mathieu, S, questionable to return with a forearm injury and was eventually ruled out. Philadelphia Eagles. Dallas Goedert, Tay, suffered a hamstring injury early in the first quarter and has been ruled out. Pittsburgh Steelers. Zach Frazier, C, rolled up in the third quarter and is questionable to return. The Steelers are already missing 3 starters on the offensive line. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jamel Dean, CB, ruled out in the first half against the Saints due to a hamstring injury. Washington Commanders. Durance Armstrong, questionable to return with rib injuries but did not come back in the game. Injuries continue to play a significant role in the NFL season, affecting team performance and playoff aspirations. Keep an eye on these updates as teams assess the extent of injuries moving forward. Overreactions after Week 6 of the 2024 NFL season. As the dust settles from an eventful Week 6, several hot takes and reactions have emerged. Here's a breakdown of what's an overreaction and what's grounded in reality. 1. Mike McCarthy will get fired during the bye week. Overreaction or reality? Overreaction. Despite the Cowboys' struggles, including a shocking home loss to the Lions, McCarthy's job isn't on the line just yet. At 3-3, Dallas is still in playoff contention. While the team's first-half performance has been concerning, a bye week could allow them to regroup. It's early in the season, and drastic changes may not be warranted at this point. 2. Bears will make playoffs in Caleb Williams' rookie season. Overreaction or reality? Overreaction. The Bears are showing promise at 4-2, with an impressive offensive surge. However, the tough competition in the NFC North and upcoming divisional matchups raise doubts. Their recent wins have come against weaker opponents, and their playoff fate remains uncertain as they face stiffer challenges. 3. Jared Goff is on the greatest 2-game stint for any QB in NFL history. Overreaction or reality? Reality. Goff's performance has been nothing short of spectacular, setting records for passer rating over a 2-game stretch. His efficiency and the Lions' offensive output are historic, showcasing his growth and the team's potential as contenders. 4. This is the best rookie QB class ever. Overreaction or reality? reality. With Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and Drake May making significant impacts, this rookie class is indeed special. Their combined performances are rewriting expectations and showcasing talent rarely seen in a single draft class. 5. Nick Sirianni is in a no-win situation with Eagles fans. Overreaction or reality? Reality. Sirianni's interactions with fans are becoming increasingly controversial as the Eagles struggle to replicate last season's success. The team's recent performances have led to frustration among fans, and his antics may not play well unless the team starts winning convincingly again. 6. Derrick Henry is having the greatest season for any RB in his 30s. Overreaction or reality? Reality. Henry's performance is remarkable for a running back over 30, with impressive rushing stats that put him on pace to break records. If he continues at this rate, he will set a new standard for longevity and performance in his position. Summary. Week 6 has brought both excitement and challenges across the NFL. While some reactions may seem extreme, the reality behind several key storylines is hard to ignore. As the season progresses, these narratives will evolve, making the next few weeks crucial for many teams and players. Aiden Hutchinson suffers serious leg injury, surgery for tibia fracture. In a disappointing turn of events for the Detroit Lions, star edge rusher Aiden Hutchinson has been ruled out for an extended period after undergoing surgery for a tibia fracture. Hutchinson entered Week 6 as a dominant force on the defensive front, leading the NFL with 6.5 sacks, 14 QB hits, and 40 pressures, during the Lions' impressive 47-9 victory over the Dallas Cowboys. Hutchinson sustained the injury while making a tackle on Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. He was quickly attended to by medical staff and later stretchered off the field, with his teammates visibly shaken by the incident. Head coach Dan Campbell addressed the media postgame, expressing his disappointment over the injury. "Hate it for Hutch. That's tough," Campbell said. "He's in good hands right now. Obviously he's going to be down a little while. So that's tough." The injury was severe enough that Fox chose not to broadcast a replay of the moment it occurred. Hutchinson seemed to recognize the gravity of the situation immediately after hitting the ground. In a show of sportsmanship, several Dallas players, including Prescott and Micah Parsons, went over to offer their support to Hutchinson as he was being tended to. The Lions will have to adjust their defensive strategy in Hutchinson's absence, as he has been a cornerstone of their pass rush and overall defensive performance this season. Updates on his recovery and timeline for return are expected in the coming days. Lions' historic 47-9 win over Cowboys marks rare scoregami. In a stunning display of dominance, the Detroit Lions secured a historic 47-9 victory over the Dallas Cowboys, resulting in a unique final score that had never been recorded in NFL history, a scoregami. This game marked the first time a contest ended with that exact score, bringing the total number of unique final scores in NFL history to 1.087. As the clock wound down, the only drama left was whether the Cowboys would manage to add any points. Quarterback Cooper Rush led Dallas on a drive that brought them to the Lions' 5-yard line. But disaster struck when he threw an interception, sealing the score at 47-9. The Cowboys managed their points through 3 field goals from kicker Brandon Aubrey. Meanwhile, the Lions' impressive offensive showing included 5 touchdowns and 4 field goals, all while not punting once during the game. This offensive efficiency underscored their commanding performance. Interestingly, the Cowboys have now been part of 2 scoregamis this season alone. The previous one came in Week 2 when they lost to the Saints 47-19. This also ties their largest loss under owner Jerry Jones, matching a previous 38-point defeat. For the Lions, this win represented not just a statement against a division rival, but also their first scoregami since October 2022. The 47 points are the second highest they've ever scored in a road game, trailing only their 52-point outing in 1952. With 3 scoregamis already recorded in the 2024 season, there's a possibility that this year could outpace last season's total of 9, making it an exciting time for fans and analysts alike. Cowboys vs. Lions. Detroit dominates in historic 47-9 win. In a stunning performance, The Detroit Lions crushed the Dallas Cowboys 47-9, marking the worst home loss for Dallas under owner Jerry Jones since he took over in 1989. The Lions showcased their high-scoring offense and revenge-driven mentality after a controversial loss to the Cowboys last season. Key takeaways. Injuries take a toll on Dallas. The Cowboys were missing key defensive players, including edge rushers Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, as well as top corners Darren Bland and Kalen Carson. This depleted defense struggled to contain the Lions' potent offense, which had been averaging 26 points per game entering Week 6. Lions' offensive firepower. Detroit scored on their first 9 drives, excluding the kneel down at the half, highlighting their efficiency. Running back David Montgomery set the tone early with a 16-yard touchdown on the opening drive, finishing with 2 rushing touchdowns and 80 yards. Quarterback Jared Goff contributed with 315 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Dak Prescott's struggles. Dallas quarterback Dak Prescott had a rough outing, throwing 2 interceptions, including one intended for All-Pro receiver CeeDee Lamb. Prescott's lack of synergy with Lamb was evident, and the Cowboys' offense failed to capitalize on early opportunities, ultimately settling for field goals instead of touchdowns. Turning point. The game shifted early when the Cowboys failed to convert deep into Lions territory on their opening drive. After stalling, the Lions quickly took the lead and never looked back. A pivotal play was a 42-yard completion from Goff to Tim Patrick that set up Detroit's first touchdown. Highlight play. A standout moment was a trick play where Montgomery tossed the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who then passed it back to Goff for a 52-yard touchdown, echoing a similar play from last season, showcasing Detroit's creativity and confidence. Looking ahead. Detroit, 4-1. The Lions now sit just behind the Minnesota Vikings in the NFC North and will face them next week in a crucial divisional matchup. Dallas, 3-3. The Cowboys head into their bye week to regroup before facing the 49ers, a challenging opponent they've struggled against in recent years. The Lions' impressive win highlights their offensive prowess, while the Cowboys will need to address their defensive shortcomings and Prescott's inconsistency moving forward.